I call it what it is. The man is evil. Today's a day set aside to celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday.
On this day, I have watched 3 movies outlining slavery in America. Included was King, Dr. Martin Luther King's journey from Birmingham, Alabama, during the bus boycott in 1955 to Memphis, Tennessee, 1968, when Martin's life was taken. The movies hit me where it hurts, in my gut, my heart, and my emotions. The movie King simulated the historical journey Martin took to unvictimize the Black people in America. His journey was set to give some level of equality in a nation we are forced to call home. Martin's triumphant walk was mandated to help Blacks escape the web of hangers we have been clenched in for over 400 years. After watching, I became instinctively bruised in my spirit as I witnessed the truth we endured in a nation that never really cared. Of course, this was not my first time seeing any of the movies, but it was something about watching this time that ignited a fire in me, a fire that sparked an impulse to write. So, as the tears fell from my eyes, I sat down at my computer to write. Not sure of what I was going to put in my ledger, but I knew I was going to give a relating projective of what my heart was feeling deep within, which succumbed to the tightness felt in my throat. So here it is, my people, all spelled out from my emotions word for word, with an unrecognizable energy filling all spaces within. How I feel about Martin's historic journey. The life Martin lived was historic. The trail he ignited was triumphant. He was anointed by God for this time and for this journey. Had it not been for his leadership of passion, I really don't know where we would be today as a nation of people. That's meant for both the Black and white people of this nation. Many acts of discord, discrimination, racial injustice, violence, and more have been transgressed against the Black people of America. Martin became the hand that let down the rope to help pull us out. We have seen some strides and many improvements have been made through many attempts to equalize equality and dignity in this country. Much thanks to Martin and the many others that fought this racial war with and for us. Martin's calling and the victory made in history from his calling opened up many doors by the mercy of God, and we have been made strong from it. Martin stepped in and stepped up during a time in history when all efforts of the secondhand slavery period against the Black people in America was in process. Actions manipulated, arranged, and accomplished by the man in this country. An undertaking strongly constituted against us to quantify the slavery doors that were seemingly closed. Maybe you are asking why I call it secondhand slavery, and also why I say the slavery doors were seemingly closed. I call it the secondhand slavery period because since 1877, under the Jim Crow reign, Blacks in America were faced with the Jim Crow forces against them after slavery ended in 1863.
When Jim Crow started up in and around 1877, it was more than a progression of anti-Black laws. It relegated African Americans to the status of second class. And that stigma has not been removed from our backs. And my statement that the slavery doors were seemingly closed was made because we no longer have the chains attached to our bodies. And no longer are we controlled by the lashing of whips clenching our backs. But that same manipulating spirit hovers over us as a nation of people just as before. The man has worked long and hard to continue to suppress the very nature of our people, and that effort was actively alive during the civil rights era, and it is still actively alive here today in 2026. The man's exploits and their controlling influences, along with their hateful forces against us, is alive and working in all efforts to keep any progress, positions, or achievements at a minimum. The only difference is their actions are orchestrated in a more precautionary manner. The civil rights laws has mandated a pullback from direct force against us, and has set provision methods in place under the law, which today those provisions aren't taking effect and are being shut out by this regime. Many are being provoked, ignored, and revised.
Part 2. Definition and overview of the Civil Rights Act.